length. Everybody's at arm's length.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Of course. I'm more than arm's length right now. She did grab my camera.
He.
Hey, police, I just got spit on. I got it, man. Sorry, man. You're a woman. Listen, you actually believe that if someone disagrees with something, you can stand up and spit on them. That's how educated you are.
Know your pronouns. Know your pronouns, honey. Know your f***ing pronouns. It's a world out there.
Alamo is being f***ing rude. She was real rude with her black ass. And she called me at home. She supposed to be at work. And y'all going viral, honey, on Facebook. You too. That bitch with no name.
Hey, sir, I need you to get out.
So, and you call me a sir? I'm not a sir. I'm a ma'am. I'm a sir. I'm a ma'am.
Get out.
I'm a ma'am.
Can you get him out?
I'm a ma'am. I'm a ma'am. You being rude. I'm a ma'am. I'm a ma'am. My ID say female. He's being rude. Know your pronouns. Know your pronouns.
Get out, please.
Know your pronouns. Know your pronouns. Know your pronouns, honey. Know your f***ing pronouns. It's a world out here. It's a f***ing world out here. Know your f***ing pronouns. Stupid.
Miss.
Suck my dick, like you said, man.
Get out.
Him.
Hey.
Suck my dick.
Please get out.
Shalom. I would like to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakwadash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you sincere Akim, pushing his word out across the four corners of the world. And as what you just saw from those previous videos, of different transformers causing a lot of havoc because they were being misgendered out in public. And this is the so-called normal standard here in America known as Babylon the Great according to the Holy Scriptures, where nowadays it's a bit fuss about gender identity, your gender expression, or your gender presentation. And ultimately that represents confusion. So a dystopian society like this are the consequences of what you get when you have the wicked that's in that power seat of rulership. And that's referring to the man of sin, Esau Edom. And that takes me right to Isaiah 24:10. The city of confusion is broken down. So that city of confusion is referencing to America, the United States, codified within the scriptures as Babylon the Great. And once you go into the Hebrew word for Babylon, it goes into Babal, which means confusion, disorder, chaos. And it also goes into mixing. And that's exactly why the Tower of Babel got overthrown, because it was all in one for this NWO. And it's no different in today's time because the so-called powers that be, they are all forging in for this NWO. And this gender identity madness is one of the main components to formulate this NWO. And that's because it's further promoting an anti-Messiah society. And the so-called powers that be, they're also pushing forward these so-called men becoming more emasculated, more feminine, and concerning the women, vice versa. So it's like a reversal of roles. So if you have a society of so-called men becoming emasculated, then how are they going to fight against this NWO once it starts being fully implemented? So the city of confusion is broken down. So look at this place, America, from a spiritually or morally perspective. So the city of confusion is being broken down. So look at this place, America, from a spiritually or morally perspective. And you compare these times unto the 1950s, where that was considered as America's golden age. Two complete different vibrations. Because at that time frame in the 1950s, these people were more powerful by being classified as Americans. But if you watch videos, what you just saw at the beginning of this video, you have Edomites on the comment boards asking, when is God coming back? So therefore, this place, America, is circling the drain, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Shah is about to get ready to close the chapters upon this place and upon Esau's rulership. And it says, every house is shut up that no man may come in. So the more a society promotes an anti-Messiah behavior, then the more confused the inhabitants of the people are going to be in. And I was just looking up like how many genders are there, and you have like 81 types of genders and gender identities within this whole world. And that's confusion, which takes me to 1 Corinthians 14 verse 33. For Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints, which represents the Israel of the Most High, the elect Israelites, who are not going to be conformed with these wayward agendas. But the point is, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is not the author of confusion. Like, for example, you have all these gender identities like transgender, transmasculine, transfeminine, non-binary, and that even breaks down into categories like gender fluid, gender queer, ungender, two-spirit, and you also have the different gender pronouns. He, him, she, her, they, them. So that's nothing but disorderly arrangements. It's confusion. Because the word sex identifies as being labeled what you are assigned at your birth. And that's based on your genitals. So if a baby comes out with a penis and testicles, then that particular baby will be classified as a male. Vice versa. If a baby comes out with a vagina, then that particular baby will be classified as a female. And that divine order shows proof that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is not the author of confusion. Male and female. It's simple. And that takes me to the book of Genesis, the 1st chapter and the 27th verse. So the Elohim, and that's the Hebrew word for God in this text, because this is referring to Yahushua along with his judges, the elect, those rulers, the divine ones. And Abaratazat, that's us that was with Yahushua creating these different components within this world. The idea was from the Heavenly Father Yahweh. So Yahushua, along with his day ones, who are considered as the Elohim, they created man in his own image. In the image of the Elohim created he him, male and female created he them. And this is simple science. It's not even complex. With all these different gender identities, gender expressions, gender pronouns, and the madness goes on. So the point is, male and female created he them. So by this earth that was given unto the hand of the wicked, and that's referring to the tabernacle of Edom, look how everything is thrown off from the mindset of the people. The foundations of the earth are out of course. Everybody and everything is in a disarray. So that's why it says right here in Romans 1 and 25, who changed the truth of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua into a lie. And again, that's the man of sin, Esau, Edom. They are the main ones that are responsible for enchanting the masses with these false ideologies, these false concepts. You have so-called adults in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s causing turmoil in public about them being misgendered. So that's why it says, who changed the truth of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever among. Which means 2/3 of our people within this wicked society, America, and the non-elect across the four corners of the world of our people, and also these other nations. They all subscribe to the God of this world, Esau, Edom. Verse 26, for this cause, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And we know through the spirit it's ultimately Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua choosing these people's strong delusions. But just from a clinical psychology level, these people are suffering from a severe mental disorder called psychosis, which is a mental disorder and you're being disenchanted or disconnected from reality. Like, for example, these transformers. They are no longer labeling themselves what they was assigned by their birth. And when you so-called misgender them, you see that they will start causing havoc within the public. So therefore, these people are on a beast level. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to put them down like the beast that they are very soon. And that takes me to Ecclesiastes 10 and 6. Folly is set in great dignity, and folly goes into stupidity, foolishness, madness, and in this case, mental madness. So folly is set in great dignity. So any type of anti-Messiah behavior that's held in high regard or elevated within the society. And according to biblical prophecies, when we see a society aiming toward this way, like heavy anti-Messiah behavior, then we know through the spirit that this kingdom or this society is aiming toward a downward spiral. Which takes me to the prophecy in Mark 3 and 23. And he called them, referring to Yahushua, unto him, and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? Verse 24, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, hence America, so-called United States. But the irony in that, you're seeing nothing but disunion, division. Everybody within this society, America, is being divided by race, religion, politics, sex, or gender identities. And it's all causing an uproar. So that's why it says right here, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And that's where we currently stand in these end times concerning America. Like, for example, that first video, that biological female, she was upset by being misgendered by that older so-called white man. And he will be considered like a baby boomer. And that's like people born from 1946 until 1964. And she was probably a millennial, which was people born from 1981 to 1996, or Generation Z, were people born from 1997 until 2012. But you saw when he kept so-called misgendering her, then the more and more they started clashing. And by that so-called white man kept saying she or her, he comes from that golden age of America, the 1950s, where things like that wasn't acceptable to the public view. So with his traditional values, it's in that verse into that biological female, as you saw. So with his traditional values in the era that he was raised up in are opposed to her so-called values, which are modern times. We are in those prophetic times where we are seeing America being divided on a heightened level. Verse 25, and if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. So that house represents America, this so-called establishment. It was so-called founded by violence, and according to Revelation, the 18th chapter, the 21st verse, it's going to be thrown down by violence. Which takes me right to Zechariah, the 5th chapter, the 3rd verse. Then said he unto me, this is the curse. That's referring to these so-called UFOs who are classified within the scriptures as the chariots of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, angels. And they're coming back with our big brother Yahushua, as it says in Isaiah, the 63rd chapter, how he's going to be traveling with the greatness of his strength. Like multitude of angels are going to be with him. And Abaradazah, we as the hopeful elect, that's for our glory, our salvation. But unto the rest of these people that are conformed to the image of the beast, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth should be cut off, as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth should be cut off, as on that side according to it. And here's the point dealing with the word house, verse 4. I will bring it forth, said the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. And by default, that can only be referred to America, under the rulership of Esau Edom. And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. So in conclusion, America, or Babylon the Great, is about to be laid waste, totally desolate very soon. And that's linking up with 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, the 10th verse, how it goes into about the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. And it also goes into how the earth also and the works that are therein should be burnt up. And what's one of many hurtful works of America? This gender identity and gender pronoun movement, which is heavy anti-Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua behavior. So, Aparadazat, you all stay strong. You all keep pushing forward. Shalom.
I'm not doing credit. You're gonna give me my fucking money back.
Excuse me, sir. There's a young man in here.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
I can call the police if you'd like me to. You need to settle down.
You need to settle down and mind your business, okay?
Both of you guys?
Ma'am. Once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was just general.
Right beforehand, you fucking said sir.
Sir? Okay.
Motherfucker, take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you a fucking sir.
I apologize.
Motherfucker.
I apologize now.
I need your corporate number because I'm going to call them and talk about how it was misgendered several times in this store.
I apologize for that.
I need your corporate number now. Get it for me now.
I'm going to ask you to calm down and stop cussing.
Give me your
Stop
corporate
hitting
number.
extra on property.
Well, I'm going to ask you for the 5th time to stop calling me a man because quite clearly I am not.
And I apologize. I'm sorry for that, ma'am. I will get you that number. Is that okay?
Yes,
I'm
get it
just
for me
asking
now.
you- I'm asking you to stop
Get it
cussing.
for me now. I'm not cussing. I'm not cussing.
Okay.
Get me the damn numbers now, please. Ooh.
Ma'am, I apologize.
Ooh.
I apologize, ma'am. I will get you that number right now.
No, you're just gonna keep bumping your gums. You're just gonna keep bumping your gums and disrespecting trans people in this store, which I plan on telling the entire LGBTQ community. You're going to lose money over this.